Dane Diesel here, and welcome to another video, probably brought to you by Billionaire Belief. I was scrolling through these digital streets and came across an interesting article that I want to share with you all today. Kind of have a discussion and reaction in a sense, a dialogue, I should say, not a discussion. But hopefully, when you come across this video, you will see it. You will feel intrigued by the article as I was, and we can have a discussion through the comment section. But nevertheless, like I said, I'm just kind of gonna share my thoughts. Give my 2 cents on the matter, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and dive on in. This article comes from Business Insider, and the headline reads, 60% of millennials earning over 100,000 say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Now, this was published on June 19th, 2021, as you can see. So that's roughly last week. Today's June 23rd. So just dated this video, but it'll be uploaded anyway. Nevertheless, so we see here 60% of millennials earning over 100,000 say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Now, before we actually dive into the article to kind of get into the details, I just first want to start off by saying that six figures for years has been a personal goal of mine, as well as something that a lot of my peers have aspired to, and a lot of people around the world, specifically in America. A lot of individuals who go to college. That's kind of like what your expectation is, I should say. At some point, you are thinking six figures, but when we do think six figures, we have this idea that it's going to allow us. We tend to, I should say, have this idea that a six-figure income is going to be able to provide us with this lifestyle of luxury. We'll have the ability to exercise our executive taste for life. But the reality often ends up being that you end up you stay where you are. Granted, you're making more money, but you stay where you are, in that you're going to stay at the level of your financial literacy, your financial intelligence. So depending upon what level that is at, what I'm saying, like, no matter how much money you get, it's never really going to matter, because you only know what you know when it comes to money. And if all you know is, I spend money, or I borrow money, and as long as I can make payments to cover, my bills, and I'm good, basically that lifestyle of being a borrower or a spender, what I'm saying? Like, if that's all you know, then that's going to be all you know, no matter how much money you have. So, we've seen countless examples of, entertainers, celebrities, celebrity types, as well as professional athletes. These individuals, come in, to their money with a borrower and or spender mentality. And because of that, what I'm saying, they treat money the same way they treated it when they didn't have it, in a sense. So it's like, just because they got more money doesn't mean that the lifestyle changed, in a sense, or their habits around money changed. And over the years, I've come to realize and know now that our lifestyle, ultimately our habits, our visions and our thoughts, the intangible things, that stuff. What we think about money, how we feel about money, our habits around money, like that's going to move the needle, whether up or down, in regards to, building our wealth up more than our income. So, quite often, we think that just, as long as I make more money, or if I made more money, if I had more money, if I had six figures, if I was making six figures, in life would be good. That's really a fallacy, because at the end of the day, what I'm saying, if you don't do the internal work of changing your mindset, changing your attitudes and your thoughts around money, changing your habits about with money, if you never change those things, no matter how much money you get. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to matter because you're still going to treat money how you know how to treat it. And it is what it is. So like I said, as I've gone through my personal wealth building journey, as I'm studying, as I'm talking to people, as I'm reading, stories about people and everything, like when it all comes, the brass tacks of it all ultimately comes down to your habits around money, your vision around money, your mindset around money. You know what I'm saying? Like that matters more than your income. So on that note, let's go ahead and talk and see what the article has to tell us about this, and then we'll kind of dissect that. Then we'll go ahead and recap, and that'll be that. All right. So once again, headline: 60% millennials earning over 100,000 say they're living paycheck to paycheck. So let's get a quick idea of what the highlights are. In a new study, 60% of millennials earning 100,000 said they live paycheck to paycheck. Some of these millennials, known as Henrys, prefer a comfortable, expensive lifestyle. In today's economy, $100,000 is considered middle class in the United States. So right there, we see that they're living paycheck. 60% of who? So more than likely, 60% of the people who participate in this survey. So not 60% of all millennials in America, but 60% of the people who took this survey. So how many people took this survey? I mean, that's the question on my mind. But out of these people who took this survey that are earning over 100,000, they say that they live in paycheck to paycheck, partly due to because they prefer a comfortable, expensive lifestyle. And that makes them in the middle class. So let's go ahead. So high earning millennials feel broke. 60% of millennials raking in 100,000 a year said they're living paycheck to paycheck. Found a new survey by Payments and Lending Club, which analyzed economic data and census balances surveys of over 28,000 Americans. So there it is. So that's one of the important numbers. So 60% of this 28,000 that are earning 100,000 say that they feel broke and are living paycheck to paycheck. So like I said, it also found that about 54% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So how many? This is why I like this. How, U.S. population, 2021. So 331 million people. So 54% of Americans. Now, obviously, this is all, women, men, women, adults, and children. Young, middle-aged, and elderly. But if we were just to take just to keep it simple and just take half, so 50, 60, 160, roughly 165 million Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So all the Instagram flexing is just cap at the end of the day. If you feel me, just so half of Americans it's close. It's basically safe to say that half of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, no matter what their income is. So that's the key thing there. No matter what the income is, paycheck to paycheck. So now it says nearly 40% of high earners, those making more than 100,000 annually, said that they live that way. So 40% of those making more than $100,000 annually say that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So most Americans, regardless of how much they're earning in income and salary, are living paycheck to paycheck. You can take that to the bank. So that means high earning millennials aren't the only ones feeling stretched thin, but they feel that way more than their six-figure making peers, probably like older individuals. So let's say living on constrained budgets may therefore have less to do with income and more to do with expenses. So that's what the report said. But that's basically my point. You know what I'm saying? So this is when, people like me, as well as other, financial literacy bloggers, influencers, whatever you want to label them, this is basically the message, our message at the end of the day. Like, yes, focusing on, like Grant Cardone says, focus on income, make more money. Yeah, like that's really what we're all focused on doing. But what really, moves the needle isn't necessarily our income. Like you said, it isn't necessarily less to do with income and more to do with expenses. So we gotta get control of our spending. You feel me? So let's continue. That's probably due because of lifestyle choices. Many of these millennials are likely Henrys, short for high earners, not rich yet. The acronym was invented in 2003, but it has come to characterize a certain group of 30-some six-figure earners who struggle to balance their spending and saving habits. So there it is right there. They struggle to balance their spending and saving habits. So that's a point of pain, a source of pain for a lot of these individuals. They struggle to balance their spending and saving. So they want more wealth. They want to build their wealth up. They want the freedom that comes with having wealth, but they struggle balance their spending and saving habits. So they're moving away from pain. They want to move away from pain, I should say, and that pain is the struggle between balancing the spending and saving habits. So Henrys typically fall victim to lifestyle creep. And that's when one increases one's standard of living to match a rise in discretionary income. So when we get a pay raise, oftentimes we tell ourselves, all right, I got this pay raise, I done put the work in to get this pay raise, so let me treat myself. I'm guilty of this myself. I tend to do it with eating out in regards to ordering takeout. Personally, you know what I'm saying? An area of improvement for me, something I struggle with. So now I still save, but you know what I'm saying? That it's still a struggle. I keep it G. It's still a struggle. But you know what I'm saying? I've learned how to manage it and save more than I'm spending. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's most important. So I'm still spending less than I'm earning, but it's still a struggle, baby. So like it says, so lifestyle creep. So that's the financial cancer in a sense is lifestyle creep. Like that's what's causing the struggle, and it's when one increases one's standard of living to match a rise in discretionary income. So like you said, you get a pay raise, you get a job that earns more money, and then so you start thinking yourself like, I went from earning $2,000 a month to $5,000 a month, so now I gotta live like I'm earning $5,000. Like, no, still live like you're earning $2,000, and then invest the $3,000. That's how you get ahead. Save and invest the $3,000. All right. So, like it says, they typically prefer a comfortable and often expensive lifestyle that leaves them living paycheck to paycheck. Fair use. A $100,000 salary isn't what it was. The economy is also a huge factor behind why six-figure earning millennials feel broke. As the report said, living paycheck to paycheck sometimes carries connotations of barely scraping by and of poverty. The reality of paycheck to paycheck lifestyle in the United States today is much more complex, and the current economic environment has made it even more complicated. It cited the example of a college-educated 35-year-old earning more than $100,000 while juggling a mortgage, student loan debt, and a child, which could leave them with little savings for big purchases or unexpected emergencies. So there it is. Here's where the struggle, shows up. You feel me? You prefer to live, people are preferring, we millennials prefer to live this comfortable, expensive lifestyle. So we get these expensive toys, these houses, these big cars, these luxury vehicles. We travel and we doing all this stuff. Jamaica, Europe, you feel me? Like we making these moves, we buying the Gucci belts, you know what I'm saying? We trying to buy the Birkin bags, you know what I'm saying? But we getting the whatever's underneath that, you know what I'm saying? But we spending, you know what I'm saying? Because we feel like we've reached this level of status in life to where we have these degrees, which is where the debt comes from. We feel like because we have these degrees that we supposed to be living a certain way. But that's creating more harm. That's doing more harm than it is good for our financial futures at the end of the day. Especially if we want to build our wealth up. So, like you said, it's juggling a mortgage, student loan, and a child. And then, like I said, with kids, having the kid is just, adding on to it. So I understand a lot of people see these kids as blessings, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still, single and childless. My goal is to have a wife and child, at some point in the not so distant future. But as of today, what I'm saying, like, granted, yes, I can make a way to take care of a family and provide for a family. Like, yes, like, what I'm saying, I earn money to do it, but You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be done in a way that's really, beneficial in that, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not going to have these struggles. And like you said, there's always going to be struggles. So let me retract that in a sense. So life, you will always be struggling, and there will be some struggles. It's just the level and type of struggles that you have. So for example, I think struggling to figure out, where to put one's money, what assets to buy is a better struggle than, like you said, juggling mortgage, student loan debt, and the expenses that come from having a child, which leaves you with little savings for big purchases or unexpected emergencies. You feel me? So, being broke creates more financial problems for you. You feel me? So let's just be a lot more focused or conscious of our habits. You feel me? So let's continue. The generation is facing an affordability crisis. Income increases simply have not kept up with an exponential increase in living costs, and the pandemic hasn't helped matters by throwing job loss and pay cuts into the mix. The cost of education has also more than doubled since the 1970s, leaving many millennials with student debt. Priya Malani, the founders of Stash Wealth, a financial firm that works with Henry's, previously told Insider that 40% of her clients had student loans. On average, they owed $80,000. So, my grandparents, for example, they came from the South. According to them, they were poor. My granny always talked about I was making less than $1 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So, but they coupled together. They stacked their bread together. They worked as a team together. And they were able to save up, buy property, save up, buy property, save up, buy property, then use the money from the property to buy more property, and to the point where, at my grandfather's death, God rest his soul, they owned over 30 properties, 30 doors, 30 rental units. And, those all, they cash flow. They give them money. So they go have money. That money's coming into the family. Just generational wealth right there. But, at the end of the day, they were able to accomplish that because of their financial lifestyle. At the end of the day, they were keepers. You feel me? Like they saved to invest, and then they spent their money on the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very frugal. When it comes to things that they didn't really value or feel were that important. But they definitely spent lavishly on the things that they did value and that they did feel were important. And so but that all was able to be done because they put the work in early, and they saved, they spent less than they earned, and they didn't prefer to live this comfortable, expensive lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like they spent less than they earned, and they saved to invest, and then over time, over the course of a lifetime, a generation, they were able to enjoy the last chapters of it. Well, my papa was able to enjoy the last chapter of his life, God rest his soul, and now my granny is chilling. With not a worry in her soul. You know what I'm saying? She's still struggling, but it's we gotta refurbish the property. Okay, I gotta figure out, I gotta find some contractors. It's a different type of struggle, you feel me? So let's just really, really be mindful of that, you know what I'm saying? So we got to also be mindful of this education as well, because the cost of education is creating a student loan debt to the tune of, as what we reading in black and white here, 80,000. So even if you earning a lot of money, you getting a 6-figure income, you got debt, you know what I'm saying, because you did go to college. And so I'm not saying education or knowledge isn't important, but be mindful of how you're acquiring the knowledge. Is a financial institution necessary? Personally, if you're doing STEML, so science, technology, engineering, math, medicine, and law, I do believe that those subjects provide you and teach you skills, marketable skills that you can earn some high income from. But remember, just because you earn high income, having high income definitely helps, but it's only a piece of the puzzle. There's a more important factor. And that's our money habits. So moving right along, as a byproduct of this increased cost in living, the middle class has been shrinking. Pew Research Center defines the middle class as people earning 2/3 to twice the median household income, i.e. about $48,500 to $145,500 in 2018, the most recent data available found. That means a 6-figure salary is no longer what it used to be. In today's economy, $100,000 is considered middle class in the U.S. And that's that. So we got work to do, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe that you can get it done if you're handling your business. You know what I'm saying? And like once again, that business is basically boiling down to you having good money habits. So having a money blueprint in a sense, having a framework to map out your financial your finances, having your financial house in order, keeping your finances in order, having a system in place to make that happen. And so a system that I believe will be of great use to you is gas control blueprint, and you can go ahead check that out. Go to click the link in our bio. Any of our social media pages are on our YouTube page. I'll include a link in the description as usual. But just click the link. Check out the Earn for Keeps course, and you'll learn it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've created a very simple and practical and easy to use money blueprint for you to just implement so that you can develop better money habits. So that you can be able to earn your income, no matter if it's 48.5 to 145.5 a year. Earn your income, stack your capital, and buy your assets, because that's how you go get ahead. All right. So we go close on that note. Remember, 60% of millennials earning over 100,000 say they're living a paycheck to paycheck, and that tends to come from them preferring to live a comfortable and expensive lifestyle. And then when they get a raise, they fall victim to lifestyle creep. All right. So I'm here to help. Let me know if you got any questions. But like I said, this is step number one. No matter what, until you can get control of your spending, until you can get some cash control, then the best way I've heard it put is until you can really get some cash control, it'd be like trying to run up the down escalator. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you can get to the top eventually, but it's how long is it going to take compared to if you just get on the right escalator on the right side and you go, with minimal to no effort, go to the top. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to avoid running up the down escalator. So that's the pain right there. That's the struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's like they talked about juggling. All these bills and babies and debt, and having little to save and having little money left over to save and invest. Like that's the pain we're trying to move away from right there. You know what I'm saying? And we want to get over into a place where we can start moving towards some pleasure. Pleasure being, I want to be able to, like I said, if you got a kid, I want to be able to buy my kid a house and a car so that when they 18 and become adult, they good. And become an adult, they good. I want to be able to have some money stacked away, so whether if they want to pursue a degree in the STEM field or something, or start a business, that they have capital to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to provide them with the best health care. I want to be able to take them, travel with my family around the world. Whatever, moving toward pleasure means to you, you know what I'm saying? You got to get away from the pain first. Then once you get away from the pain, then you can start moving toward the pleasure. So I'm here to help you move away from the pain. And the first step is that Earn for Keeps course. So go ahead, check it out. Hit me up if if I got some special offers for you, but you gotta DM me to find out how you can get $10 off, and even for free. All right. So holla at your boy, Dhane Diesil out. Peace.